Hey, what's up guys? So Viofo just released the new A229 Ultra, which has two key improvements over the A229 Pro. Number one, the front and rear cams now both record in 4K. So this is a 4K model up from 2K in the rear. Both of these have Sony Starvis 2 sensors, both front and rear, but the resolution of the rear cam is going to be better here in the Ultra. Number two, they're both available here with optional interior facing cams. However, in the Ultra, the interior cam is now going to be an ultra-wide fisheye cam, similar to what we have on the A329S, which is going to give you better side coverage in your vehicle as well. And there's a few other minor changes here too. And so to better understand this new A229 Ultra, let's go ahead and take a closer look now here at all of its new features and see whether or not it's worth the extra money over the A229 Pro. Now, the A229 Ultra is available in a variety of different configurations. For example, you've got the traditional front and rear versions with the A229 Ultra 2-channel. Then you've also got a 3-channel version that's going to add a third interior cabin cam. Additionally, they've also got some versions with a different rear cam that replaces the interior rear cam with an external waterproof cam. And this is true for both the 2-channel version as well as the 3-channel version of the A229 Ultra. And this is going to be called the Ultra W. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the A229 Ultra 3-channel that's got the traditional front and rear cams as well as the interior fisheye cam. Now, taking a closer look here at the design of the front cameras, it basically looks identical here between the A229 Pro and A229 Ultra. They also share the same image sensor, that 4K Sony Starvis 2 IMX678. And then taking a closer look at the cases, you can see we've got the same LCD display in the back, the LED status indicators, and then the 5 buttons here to control the dash cam. If we flip it over to the side, we've got our micro SD card slot and then the interior cam port. We've got the same cooling vents here on both dash cams. And then the same is true here on the other side with the rear cam port. More cooling vents. We've got the same quick release GPS mount here like this, as well as the lens here with the optional polarizer, which you can attach here to cut down on reflections. And I've got it here attached on the A229 Pro. Now, taking a look at the rear cameras though, you'll definitely notice a number of improvements here. Right away, you're gonna notice the design difference here between the A229 Pro and A229 Ultra's rear cam. The design here is gonna be basically the same as what they used on the A329X line of dash cams. And I like the fact that if you opt for their optional polarizer here, for example, this one can actually clip right onto the rear cam like that to help cut out reflections back behind, which is different than what they do for the A229 Pro's rear cam, which requires double stick tape, and using adhesive is fine for installation, but it does make it tougher to remove the polarizer down the line if you so choose. Now, unlike the rear cam on the A329X series dash cams though, both of these have 2K Sony Starvis 2 sensors, while the A229 Ultra has a 4K Starvis 2 sensor, which is going to do an even better job at capturing detail back behind you, such as faces and license plates. It's also worth noting that both the A229 Pro and Ultra use USB connectors here to connect the front and rear cams, which is different than the A329X line of dash cams, which uses a smaller coax connector, which means if you want to upgrade from the A229 Plus or Pro, you do have to run a new cable here for the front to rear cams, while with the Ultra, you can actually still reuse your existing front to rear USB Type-C cable, which is very convenient. Now, one advantage of the A229 Pro, though, is the fact that it is available with an optional 2K telephoto dash cam that's going to plug into the rear dash cam port. And they also have a version with a rear 1080p cam that plugs into the interior cam port. This way you still have rear camera coverage, but there is no telephoto option for the A229 Ultra, something worth noting. Now, taking a look at the interior cameras next, there's a number of nice new improvements here. First off, we've got the new design here, just like we've got with the A329S. Additionally, we've got a new fisheye lens here, which is going to do a much better job of helping to record not only inside the car, but also off to the sides to add that side-facing coverage. Now, unlike the A329S though, this is not a 2K image sensor. It's going to stay 1080p, just like the A229 Plus and Pro's image sensor. That said, they have upgraded the image sensor. It's now going to be the Starvis 2 IMX662. So same resolution, but upgraded sensor with better low light performance. It's also worth noting that with the new camera's design, it is going to be slightly larger, which may be an issue depending on your vehicle and where you install the dash cam. You'll notice the lens does stick out a little bit farther forward, and when I installed the fisheye for the A329S in my car, I installed it in a way where it does slightly obscure a little bit of my rear visibility in the rearview mirror. For that reason, I do wish I did a better job of installing the cam in my car, and so you'll definitely want to double check here with the camera being slightly longer here like this, that you don't run into the same issue in your vehicle as well. And then lastly, unlike the A329S's interior cam, which uses a coax connector here, the Ultra still uses a USB Type-C connector here for the dash cam, which is going to be plugging into the TRRS port here on the side of the dash cam. And so it's going to be using this USB to like headphone jack style cable to connect the interior cam to the front cam. Next, let's take a look at some sample footage here from all three different cameras. Now, with the front camera, again, it's got the same image sensor as the A229 Pro, and video quality is going to be pretty comparable. It's got good video quality here with the front camera. That's no surprise, but let's kind of skip over that and take a look here at the new add-on cams. And starting off here first with the new 4K rear cam, the higher resolution is going to help with capturing details back behind you, such as faces or license plates, especially if they're slightly farther away. And in fact, this is the main reason why I've been running a separate dedicated 4K dash cam back behind me for years now. It's to help me get better video quality back behind, and it can be helpful when things back behind you happen farther away. That said, most of the time, it's not going to be a huge deal. For example, if you ever get rear-ended or whatever, the car behind you is obviously going to get really close to you, so it's not like you need crazy high resolution here or anything to make out the license plates. It can be helpful though to see if a driver back behind you is distracted and like maybe staring at their phone or something. And so really the extra resolution here is just to give you a little more added detail for faces and license plates back behind. And it's going to allow you to capture that detail a little bit farther away. That said, the added resolution does not help to offset motion blur. That's going to be the same here regardless of resolution. Now, you may have noticed that I've actually been comparing the A329 Ultra's rear cam to the A329S, and that's simply because of the fact that I've already got the A329S installed, and it's got the same image sensor in the rear as the A229 Pro, and so the comparison here, again, should be pretty comparable with the A229 Pro. And lastly, I've also noticed that with the A229 Ultra, its rear cam seems less contrasty and sometimes slightly more hazy. Big picture here though, yes, with the higher resolution, it's going to do a better job of capturing detail back behind you, but it's not going to be like a huge game-changing difference or anything. Next, taking a look at some sample footage from the interior camera, here I think is where you're going to be noticing more differences. And compared to the traditional interior cam of the A229 Plus or Pro, the A229 Ultra uses a 210-degree ultra-wide angle lens. And this is going to help you to capture not only what's going on inside the car, but also out the side windows. And having this additional side coverage can be very helpful in case maybe you get T-boned while driving, or you happen to have a police encounter, or let's say you're parked and somebody keys your car or gives you a door ding. And so even though there's no resolution bump here for the interior cam, the way there is for the rear, the extra coverage off to the sides can be very helpful in practice. And with all this in mind, is it worth it to spring for the A229 Ultra over the A229 Pro? Maybe, especially if you don't need the telephoto option that is available with the A229 Pro. Now, comparing pricing between the Pro and the Ultra, this will vary, of course, because there's constantly sales and discounts and coupons and all that kind of stuff, but taking a look at the pricing here right now at launch, starting off here first with the 2-channel version, there's a $30 price difference to go from the A229 Pro to the Ultra. And with the upgrade, the rear camera quality does get better. It's not a huge dramatic difference, but it's also only a $30 price difference, and so if it's worth the money for you to get the extra rear quality, there you go. Then taking a look at the 3-channel version here next, it's just a $40 difference to go from the Pro to the Ultra. And with this upgrade, you get not only the upgraded higher resolution rear cam, but you're also going to be getting the wider interior cam as well. And personally, I really like having the wider interior cam to help add that side coverage. And so if you're considering a 3-channel version, I think it would be worth it to spring for the Ultra. Now, what about the A329S that I've been running alongside the A229 Ultra here in my car? In this case, there's actually quite a few differences here between the two models, and I think I want to cover those in a subsequent video. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so that you can find out as soon as that comparison goes live. Now, this A229 Ultra, it is a newer dash cam, of course. It was just released, and at launch, it's going to have some initial bugs and quirks that need to be sorted out, just like most any dash cam. I've been running this dash cam here for only the past couple days, so I haven't yet learned every single little nuance about it, but as far as my initial impressions, so far, they're quite promising. I'm very familiar with the A229 Pro dash cams, and they were actually my primary dash cams in both of my cars for quite a while. And with this A229 Ultra, it seems like a nice upgrade over the Pro. And I'm really glad to see Viofo entering the fray with a 4K model as well. And speaking of upgrades compared to the Pro, if you're currently running an A229 Plus or Pro, but you'd also really like this wider interior cam, it turns out the A229 Ultra's interior cam is compatible with the A229 Pro because it shares the same resolution and whatnot. Now, this is not true with the higher res rear cam, of course, but if you'd like to upgrade to the wider interior cam, you can actually go to Viofo's website and buy that separately and plug it directly into the Pro. And lastly, if you'd like to buy the A229 Ultra itself, I'll put links down in the video description to all the different variants, including the 2-channel versions, the 3-channel versions, as well as the options with the regular rear cam or the waterproof rear cam too. And with all that said, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video going over the A229 Ultra compared to the A329S, as well as a bunch of other dash cams that I want to dive into and take a closer look at here as well. And so with that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are all doing great, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.